Hey all, Baruch Levi B here from both the Defiant Spirit and the Viktor Frankl Meaning Academy. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk to you about the Enneagram, the ancient personality roadmap. There's nothing like it. I use it with my coaching clients. I use it in my own life. It is second to none when it comes to having a roadmap for how to stop reacting and to choose your response. The work of Viktor Frankl and my passion in life is to teach this, spread this message that you don't have to live in reaction. You don't have to live a victim of your circumstances. You have to take back your power to choose your response. Excuse me. And the Enneagram shows us where we go in reaction, where we go in response. So Enneagram 4, how do you know if you're an Enneagram 4? See behind me, the Individualist, sometimes called the Romantic. Enneagram 4s are pretty easy to spot, even if they don't know it. Once they start learning about the Enneagram, they find it pretty quickly. Other types, it can be very hard. They can look like others. Now, 4s are the Individualists, so by definition, there's almost this originality to them. So by definition, they're easier to spot. And I would say they're probably the least represented type in the world. They are, again, by definition, more original, more authentic. They are artists by nature. Now, even if they're not professional artists, that's not what they don't formally engage in art. They're all artists. They have a creative spirit. They resonate with that language. They are all about emotion, feelings. And Enneagram 4 navigates the world with their feelings. Their neighbor, the 5, the investigator, navigates through thinking. 4s navigate through feeling. 4s will even feel their thoughts. It's hard to explain, but if you're a 4, you know what I'm talking about. It's the dominant part of our navigating system. We have our head thinking, we have our heart feeling, and we have our gut instinct. Well, 4s lean almost exclusively, certainly in reaction, on feeling. Their work is to get into their head, to take action, and to get out of their heart. Not true for all types. Enneagram 4s are expressive. They express those feelings and emotions. Now, 2s are very feeling oriented as well. They tend not to be as deep or sophisticated around their feelings as the 4. An example, I have a 12-year-old son. I have 4 kids. I have a 12-year-old son who's an Enneagram 4. He's the youngest. Physiologically, he's the youngest. He is by far the most sophisticated communicator. He has a range of emotion and an ability to express that emotion like none of the other types, like none of his siblings, even the 20-year-old. He's a lot like his mother. Ariel is a 4. And I watch the two of them, and they'll go deep into the nuances of emotion where most of us just sitting there looking at going, you lost me at about happy, sad, angry, right? Few emotions. They have a whole spectrum of emotions. Enneagram 4s need to express themselves. They have a hard time feeling like they're a cog, like they're a replica, like there's others out there like them. Now, this comes from a place of longing to be special so that they are worthy of love. Every type grapples with worthiness. 4s grapple with it by not feeling special enough. And so they'll go out into the world to be special, to be seen being special, to be understood being special. 4s long to be understood. The challenge is you can't have it both ways. You want to be understood, but you want to be special, unique, one of a kind. By definition, I can't fully understand you. So they live with this constant drama. If they're not careful, if they're reactive, they can choose their response. And they'll cause drama. They'll cause unnecessary turmoil to shake things up, to feel. That's another piece of this. Sometimes they want to feel so badly, they'll throw a bomb onto a relationship or into a situation to sort of explode it so that we can deal with all the damage, all the fallout. 4s would rather, again, in reaction, deal with explosion of emotion, the drama. Think about like perennially being in junior high school versus complacency and boring and not feeling. So they have to stand guard against causing these unnecessary dramas in their life. They speak in paragraphs. So 4s, when I ask them how they're doing, I better be pretty intentional and ready for the response because they're not really one word people. I know one four who I'll talk to, and I could probably set the phone down and pick it up in an hour, and she still would be telling me how she feels about, how are you? So again, that's one extreme. Now, Ariella is a very responsive four. She's done tremendous work. She's also a counter type of four. I won't bore you yet with the subtypes, but the bottom line is she pays attention to that emotion. She can harness it and she can adapt it to the audience. So one person asks her how you're doing, she can read the room to see, are they really asking or do they want the I'm fine? Fours who do the work are able to share their heart, their emotion in a way that others can receive. They can turn down the volume. Fours have spent their life being told they're too much. Now, as an eight, I've been told I'm too much, but that's from a, intensity action. Fours have been told they're too much from an emotional perspective. And it's very hurtful to a four if you say to him or her, you're too much, because it gets into the shame that all fours have, more pronounced probably than any other type other than maybe twos. Shame that they're not worthy, shame that they're not loved. It comes from this place of special. And if they're not careful, they'll spend their entire life looking for validation outside of themselves. And so that's really how you know if you're a four. Again, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to live there. You don't have to resign yourself to your number. My whole work is teaching people, defy your number. You won't change it in your lifetime, but you don't have to live in the reaction, in the shadow side. You can ascend to the higher side, to the responsive side, the responsible, the able to choose your response. It happens to be that in 19 minutes, I'm teaching on this subject. So you can join me. Just go to the meaningacademy.com and click on the Meaning Mastermind, and you'll get information about our Meaning Mastermind. It's just a gathering weekly, virtually, where I teach, or one of my colleagues, my co-founders, teach. And today I'll be teaching on all Enneagram types and their primary motivation. But if you show up and you want more on the four, I'm happy to talk to that. Otherwise, we'll talk about all the Enneagram types, their motivation. But this was Enneagram 4, the Individualist. If you want more, jump over to defiantspirit.org, where I have more resources for you on all Enneagram types, but especially Enneagram 4. Until then, defy your number and live your spirit.